Coming up, we will be on location at Avanti Dentistry in Tysons Corner, Virginia, discussing the latest advances in dentistry and how they can give you a healthy and beautiful smile with one of this region's top dentists, Dr. Farshad Farhoumand. Dr. Farhoumand received his DDS degree from the Georgetown University School of Dentistry, and he is a member of the prestigious Seattle Study Club, among other organizations. Welcome, Dr. Farhoumand. It's a pleasure having you on our program.
Thank you.
It's your first time, in fact. We've got a lot to discuss. We've got several patients that are going to be coming up a bit later, but I wanted to begin by asking you if you can please tell us what some of the latest advances in dentistry are.
15 years ago, they came out with digital radiology. That's changed the whole landscape of dentistry. I was one of the first people that brought this system into our practice. We did not have good computers at the time, but now we have instant x-rays. We give the patients less radiation. We don't have any developers. We don't pollute the environment. And we can get access to those x-rays anytime we want to. We don't have to go look for them in some folder or some chart.
My goodness, so everything is just a couple of clicks of the keyboard and instantly you can look at these x-rays. And our research has found that, as you just touched on a few moments ago, Dr. Farhoumand, you and your practice certainly were one of the first in this entire region that brought that here.
Yes, 1993 I introduced digital x-rays in this office.
My gosh. I also understand there have been other advancements that are benefiting a lot of folks. For instance, veneers in one appointment for folks, as opposed to coming back over several visits?
Exactly. That's the whole thing about this modern dentistry, that you don't have to wait days or weeks or months to get a case back from a laboratory. You can have 6 crowns, 6 veneers placed, done, the tooth prepped, and the crowns delivered an hour, 2 hours later in the same day.
My goodness, things have really changed over the years.
And they fit perfectly. Perfect margins, there is no problems with them, and the materials that are used, they are ceramics, there is no metals in them, and they are very durable and they're very aesthetic.
And you can customize them, from what I understand, right? Better than years ago, as far as a more natural look within one's mouth.
Exactly. We don't have to take any impressions, we don't have to have try-ins and make temporaries and take those temporaries out and inject the patient again. It's all done in 1 hour.
That's wonderful, and for the busy folks out there that are watching, it saves them a lot of time and money in the long run.
Exactly.
And I also understand there's a term now being more commonly used because of some of these advancements. It's called pain-free dentistry.
We have better needles today if we have to anesthetize. And a lot of people don't even feel the needle. The anesthetics are long-lasting and fast-acting.
Now, what types of problems do these advancements and treatments that you've touched on here correct or help with?
What they correct, that dentures have become something of the past. In today's dentistry, we can reconstruct missing bone structures, missing gums. We can bring back the patient's oral health back to what it was when they were 15, 16 years old.
Who would you say would be a good candidate for some of these treatments and advancements that you've discussed?
I would say almost everybody. Young people that lose teeth because of accidents, or people that are born with teeth that are not very aesthetic, the colors are not nice, and they want to look better. Dentistry today can offer all of that. You can bleach your teeth, you can replace missing teeth in the front that match perfectly to your own original teeth.
So you're from kids right on up through, as you mentioned a moment ago, 80, 90 years old.
Yeah.
And everyone in between can benefit. What kind of results can we expect from all this?
The kind of results that you can expect are consistent results, predictive results. Before, we really had to struggle with restorations that did not fit well, that they did not look good. Now it's almost guaranteed that when you leave the dental office, the modern dental office, you leave with the work that is done so well that you're going to remain mesmerized.
Very impressive. We're now going to meet some patients of Dr. Farhoumand. Welcome, Dana. It's a pleasure to have you on our program.
My pleasure as well.
Thank you. We always appreciate it when patients take time in their busy lives to come down and share some of their experiences with us, Dana. And I wanted to begin, if I may, by asking you if you can please tell us what dental problem or problems were you experiencing that brought you to Dr. Farhoumand and Avanti Dentistry here in Tyson's Corner.
Well, I was having some root canals and some crown work, and he was fantastic. He's very calming and relaxes you in a situation that you know you're going to undergo a lot of pain. And it's kind of like visiting your family. All of his employees have been here a long time. I've been a patient for a long time. So it's always been a pleasant experience. He tells you what to expect, and if you have any emergencies, he's readily available.
How long did the treatments take for you when you came in to fix some of these problems?
Usually just an hour or two.
That's it?
Yeah, and then I've had some abscesses, and I had to come multiple visits, and they were very accommodating to work around my work schedule. And
excellent. And for the folks out there watching, what would you tell them about the staff here at Avanti Dentistry?
The staff is fantastic. Everybody stays for a long time, so you know that they're good employers. They're always very pleasant, very helpful.
And lastly, Dana, I wanted to ask you, for the folks out there watching, would you recommend Dr. Farhoumand and his staff?
I sure would. I've probably recommended about 25 patients already.
Excellent. Well, that speaks volumes about your experience and how you feel about the practice here.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Well, on that note, I'd like to thank you, Dana, for joining us and sharing a bit of your experiences with us on our program.
Thanks.
It was our pleasure having you on. Welcome, Sherry. It's great to have you on as well.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. I just wanted to begin by asking you, Sherry, as I asked Dana a few moments ago, can you please tell us what brought you to Avanti Dentistry?
Sure. Well, I am a personal friend of Dr. Farshad's daughter, Beta, and we met back in 2002, so a long time ago. And we went to Mason together, and when I found out her father was a dentist, I decided to check him out, and I've been a loyal patient ever since. So
you've been coming here for all the various cleanings and, you know, every 6-month visits and all the standard stuff?
Yes, I have done the standard cleanings. I've had a root canal by Dr. Farshad, which was an emergency. I woke up one day and was having enormous pain, and he brought me in that day, you know, and took care of me. And
excellent. So they saw you right away.
Yes.
Very good. And what would you tell the folks out there about your experience with the staff here as well?
Oh, the staff is amazing. His wife, everyone here, they call you before, days before your appointment. Dr. Farshad personally calls me afterwards to make sure that I'm good with my pain. Do I need a prescription? If everything's good, and he's wonderful like that.
And lastly, any final thoughts that you'd like to share for the viewers before we let you go, Sherry?
Well, just for anyone who hasn't really found that dentist that they're, you know, really 100% happy with, I would definitely recommend trying Dr. Farshad. Him and his staff are amazing, and they really take care of you, and I think they'll be a keeper.
Well, on that note, I'd like to thank you for joining us and being a guest on our program as well.
Thank you so much for having me.
It was our pleasure.
Good.
Welcome, Nave.
Welcome. Thank you.
All right. It's nice to have you on as well.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. I wanted to begin, Nave, by asking you, can you please tell us what also brought you here to Dr. Farhoumand and Avanti Dentistry?
Sure. I was referred by his daughter, who I've been friends with for over 10 years.
Oh.
And I had a root canal, so I've been having some issues for a couple weeks, and I came in and he took care of it, and that's pretty much what brought me here.
And I take it you've been a patient for a while
yes,
as well?
Yes, I have, for a few years now.
So you've been coming for your various treatments and visits?
For my couple cavities, you know, stuff like that, of course, yeah.
Gotcha. And what would you say about the staff and the folks here at Avanti Dentistry?
They're friendly. They always check in. Everything's great. Their system is really good too in terms of like the technology. So when you set up an appointment, they send you a text, and you receive that and you confirm it as well to reply. So and then they call you the day before as well too. So they're very on top of their game.
Very good. Everything is state of the art.
Exactly. So yeah.
You can't say that about every dental practice out
Definitely not.
there. And as far as the results from the various treatments over the years,
Everything's been excellent. Whenever I have an issue, it's fixed at the first time I come there.
Very good. And lastly, as far as the folks viewing out there right now and listening, what would you tell them?
Definitely recommend Dr. Farshad and Avanti Dentistry.
Excellent. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. Welcome, Ben.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you on as well. And I just wanted to ask you, Ben, if you can tell us how long have you been coming to Dr. Farhoumand and what some of the treatments you've had done?
Probably 20 years. I started coming to Dr. Farhoumand when I was a kid.
Wow.
Moved to Virginia.
Long time.
Yeah.
And some of the treatments that you've had over the years?
So a while back he did a root canal for me, and actually just recently did the crown for it as well.
Oh, in addition to the regular visits, I
Of
take
course.
it, the cleanings and all the other good stuff.
Yes, everybody is really friendly and really competent.
And, well, you've been coming 20 years. That says a lot right there.
Yeah.
I take it you recommend Dr. Farhoumand to folks over the years as well?
Absolutely. I would definitely recommend Dr. Farhoumand to all of my friends and my family.
And on that note, I'd like to thank you as well, Ben, for being a guest on our program. It was our pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're now going to meet Sylvia, patient administrator here at Avanti Dentistry. Welcome, Sylvia. It's a pleasure to have you on as well. I understand you're the patient administrator here at Avanti Dentistry.
Well, it's nice to be here. Thank you. And yes, I am. I'm the patient I'm the first person that the patients talk to when they call.
Oh my goodness. So you're a very important position here at the practice. And that's what I wanted to have you on for a couple of moments. For the folks out there that are watching, can you please tell us or describe briefly the process from when they contact the dental practice and you're the person they speak with to what happens through the process?
Okay, well, the patient calls in asking to see if we're one of the providers, insurance providers. We usually ask them, the patients, if they're new in this area, who refer them, because it's very important for us to know who refer them so we can give the appropriate credit to the correct person.
Yes.
Once they give me their insurance information, I call to verify it. I book them an appointment right away whenever they need that appointment to be done. So I basically booked an emergency appointment. They come in right away. We walk them through their insurance process. They walk in, the patient feels welcome. They go and see Dr. Farshad for a small consultation, for an oral consultation. Once the patient is here, we basically do the treatment plan coordination.
Very good. You guys cover everything in a very simple, streamlined manner. That's very good to know. And I also understand you're the last person they speak with as well.
That is correct. Once the patient is explaining all the steps that they need to take to come to the next appointment, then I'll go ahead and book them to the very next appointment. I also go a little bit in regards to the payments once they actually talk to the treatment plan coordinator. So I book them the next appointment to the patient. And also give them we have a little brochure, and they give them a credit for the patient for being here, and they can use it either at that specific time that they come in or whenever for the next treatment visit that they have.
Very good. So you guys really go the extra mile to take care of your patients in every area, not just on the treatment side, but also on the back office side, the administration side, as well as you've touched on right down to credits for the patient. That would help them financially.
Absolutely. It's very important that the patient feels welcome. They understand. It's also very important for the patient to feel that we understand their needs. Yes. If the patient feels that we do understand their needs and their financial situation, they're more likely to work with us.
Yes.
And so we want to make sure that the patient knows that we have a specialist. Everything can be done in one visit.
Yes.
And all this is done under one roof. So if Dr. Farshad needs to refer, they just have to walk 5 extra steps to the next door and see the very next specialist.
I also understand, Sylvia, that you all provide various financing options.
That is correct. If the patient does not have any dental insurance, we have what is called in-house financing, and we also provide care credit. Care credit is a finance like a credit card at no free of interest charge for a year.
Oh, very good. That really will be very helpful, I'm sure, to a lot of folks in this economy especially.
Yes, they are very happy that we actually provide several ways for the patient to make payments.
And get the much needed dental work that they need, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
At the same time, which is very important.
Yes.
Well, that's wonderful, and I really want to thank you for coming on and sharing the patient perspective as far as the steps and the process that one would be looking at going through when they become a patient of your practice. So thanks for joining us,
Well,
Sylvia.
thank you for having me here.
We're now back with Dr. Farhoumand. Dr. Farhoumand, your practice here, Avanti Dentistry, certainly utilizes cutting-edge dental technology that's a tremendous benefit to your patients. And I just wanted to ask you if you can please describe how some of this technology works.
Well, we do a lot of implants in this office, and the placement of implants has to be done very diligently. And in order to do that, we need to have three-dimensional x-rays. Placing implants without having a three-dimensional x-ray is like flying transatlantic without a GPS.
It's that important.
That important because you can miss the mark. You have to make sure that there is enough bone, there is enough structure, and you have to calculate everything to make sure that the end result is something that you expect it to be. Otherwise, you can have problems.
Now, we're literally out of time, Dr. Farhoumand, but I just wanted to ask you, before I let you go, you and your practice here at Avanti Dentistry in Tysons Corner, Virginia, have established a reputation for excellence, not only in dentistry, but patient care as well. And I just wanted to ask you if you could please tell us what helps separate you and your practice apart from many of the others.
We focus mainly for the benefit of our patients. We like our patients to feel happy when they come to this office. Going to the dentist is not a pleasant experience, and we want to change all of that. I don't like to see our patients wait. If we give an appointment at a certain time, the patients will be seen at that time.
In addition to the patient-focused practice, the patients that we've had on, obviously testimonials towards that, having come to you for many years and referred many people, not to mention others that we've talked to who also feel the same way about you and your practice and your staff here at Avanti Dentistry. Dr. Farhoumand, another big benefit that I've found that's certainly unique among many practices that we've interviewed over the years is that you all also offer 1-year interest-free financing for certain patients who may benefit from that or could utilize that option.
Yes, it makes life a lot easier for them and come and complete the dental work that is necessary.
Yes, indeed. Always patients first.
A very good friend of mine, a very famous dentist who is also the head of the Seattle Study Club here in this area, once told me, he says, Farshad, don't do everything. Do a few things, but do them well. And I took this advice, and I just do the things I'm good at. And to give a much more complete dental treatment for our patient, we have on our staff a number of specialists. We have a periodontist, endodontist, and orthodontist to make this place a one-stop dentistry.
That's a huge benefit to patients who have already been coming to you as well as new patients about your practice, because a lot of times, and we all know this over the years, you come to your dentist, but then you find out that he or she needs to refer you to another specialist. And then that one in turn refers over time to another specialist, and you'd rather just deal with one practice if possible because that's who you're comfortable with.
That's where they go, they have to take x-rays again, and then they have to call, make appointments, and while they're here, we'll make it a lot easier for them.
Yes, indeed. That's a great benefit. And I also understand from what our research has shown, Dr. Farhoumand, that you also speak many languages for the very international town that we live in. That certainly would be a big help to a lot of folks who could utilize your services and treatments here.
If you had lived in the different countries I've lived and the different schools I went to, you'd be speaking 5 languages too.
Well, on that note, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Farhoumand, for educating us on some of the latest advances in dentistry, and certainly what helps make your practice very unique. And I can see why you've earned the reputation for excellence over the years in patient care and dentistry. Thanks for joining us and being a guest in our program.
Thank you very much.
It was our pleasure.